Hey everybody, so one of the things that I've been asked in a couple of places is, will Aviron Pictures still be attached to the movie after if we end up getting a sequel after we collided? Like, will they still be attached? Because I think as many Afternators know, Aviron Pictures did not treat the film, the right way. Even the big entertainment industry website Deadline, even in their little box office wrap up, even they had to admit that if Aviron Pictures had just spent a little bit of money doing like some TV spots or like some TV advertising, then after more than likely would have hit double digits in terms of the box office. So yeah, I mean, yes, of course, it overperformed in the U.S. But yeah, the number is still a little low. But yes, it did overperform in the U.S. But the number could have been even higher, according to Deadline, if Aviron Pictures had just spent a little bit more in terms of marketing. Now, in terms of where we go from here, I don't. I mean, I know somewhat about the movie business, but I do not know about the legal side of this. I don't know if the filmmakers, producers, Anna Todd, like anybody involved in that side of it, would even have any legal recourse here to even walk into Aviron Pictures and say, hey, you did us dirty all throughout this thing, and we want to walk away from you. Because I can already guarantee you, with the way how this movie is playing out, that this is going to end up being Aviron Pictures' highest grossing film. It already has beaten their other film that came out this year called Serenity, with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway in one weekend. And I'm pretty sure that by the end of this weekend, or maybe even by the end of this week, After will more than likely beat Serenity just in the domestic box office. But right now, Aviron Pictures' highest grossing film is, of course, that movie Kidnap that came out back in 2017, starring Halle Berry. It was not a good movie, believe me. But yeah, that movie only made about $34.8 million at the box office. With where After is on track now, I am 99.9, even willing to say 100% certain, especially with overseas, After will become Aviron Pictures' highest grossing film. So with that in mind, I don't see Aviron Pictures letting go of After, especially if they think that they can make money off of this thing. Now, one of the ways that I will praise Aviron Pictures, and you might be surprised because, again, they did us dirty all throughout this process. So, one of the ways that I will praise them is that they kept the budget low. I mean, this movie was only made for about $14 million according to Deadline. Now, if they had, done like some TV advertising, that would have pumped up the budget even more. I think that one of the greatest things about this film is that it did feel independent, that it did feel small, that, they didn't need to, explode the budget on this film, which is why I'm hoping that they don't go the route that so many sequels seem to go, with all of a sudden they pump up the budget and blow out the budget, and then all of a sudden the second film ends up making even less than the first film, and yet, or makes right around the same amount of money, but then can you really still call it a success because again the budget got upped. So I'm hoping that they keep the movie small. I'm hoping that they keep the budget small, because I think that that was one of the greatest decisions that they made. Now, I cannot speak to the legal, like I said in the beginning, I cannot speak to the legal side of this. I don't know if Anna Todd or the producers or really like anybody high up would even have like the legal recourse to even walk up to Aviron Pictures and say, hey, we want to get you guys out of this. We want to take it to somebody who cares. Because let me tell you the truth here, guys. If this movie exploded at the box office, like if this movie made, like say 20-30 million dollars opening weekend, then yeah, they could have gone to Aviron Pictures and they would have had even a sort of a bargaining chip, or sort of like a card to play with other studios to say, hey, we have this franchise, wouldn't you like to be a part of this big franchise? But given the yes, it overperformed, yes, it did truly amazing this weekend, but they would have been more of in a position of power to be able to go to another studio and say, hey, look at this major franchise that we have. Can you help us out? Would you like to pick this thing up? And so that's why I think that they're going to stay at Aviron Pictures, because I don't think that, given the small amount of money that the movie made this weekend, I don't see, like any other major studio, going like, okay, yeah, that's like something that I want to, pick up, that's something that I want to, be a part of. And again, I know that I'm repeating myself, and people are going to say, like, why are you repeating yourself? But again, I mean, like, it overperformed. There's no doubt about it. This thing is a success, no matter which way you swing this, in terms of opening weekend. Now, we need to wait to see what this thing does on the second weekend, on the third weekend, as it starts to roll out overseas. Because I think that it was always a guarantee that this film was going to make money overseas. The overseas was going to be the big money maker, which another thing that people have been kind of talking about is, are they going to separate the box office? Does foreign and domestic mean the same thing? Are they combined? Yes, box offices are always combined. It's never just foreign or just domestic. It's worldwide. So they put the two box offices together, and that's how they get the box office numbers. Which is why, like some people are still saying like, oh, well, After only made, $6 million this weekend. And then like another website says, oh, no, it made $18.5 million. And that's because they add up the foreign and domestic box office for one big total of worldwide. Now, again, I think like what's going to really help out this film, I think, is worldwide. And that's not a bad thing. Let me tell you that right now. That's not a bad thing, because we have a sequel to Pacific Rim because of worldwide, because of foreign. The truth of the matter is that like if you're sitting in a summer movie and you're wondering like why are they spending so much time in like a foreign, like why do so many films or summer blockbusters pretty much seem to have like an entire section set in like Hong Kong, Japan, China, somewhere like that. Well, that's because foreign grosses are starting to become bigger than domestic. That they're starting to make more money overseas than they are domestically. That even though a lot of movies do make money domestically, foreign is where they completely get most of their money. And foreign is the reason why we have sequels to so many films. Because if you just take in the domestic box office, most films would probably be, yes, a lot would be a success, but there are more than a few that would definitely be a failure. Let's face it, we have a Mamma Mia sequel because of the foreign, because it completely exploded overseas. But yeah, no, we're getting off topic in terms of the in terms of what this originally was supposed to be about, which is, will Aviron Pictures keep After? Yes, yeah, they own After. Yeah, they're the ones who have this thing. But also another question is, how much do they spend on it? The budget might be $14 million, but if you watch the opening credits to After, or if you watch like the opening scenes of After, you'll notice like almost comically there's like about 5 different studios attached to this thing. There's like 5 different production companies attached to this thing. So the question is like, how much did Aviron Pictures even spend on this? Like, did they have to shoulder the entire 14 million, or did they just contribute a small amount and they were able to sell off to all these other production companies, to where not just one company was shouldering the weight of this. I think we're going to get a sequel. I would be very surprised if we didn't, unless this thing just completely collapses, which, to give you guys a little bit of a hard truth, it might collapse in the US. That's why I'm definitely watching the foreign box office very, very closely, because if you look at the domestic box office, even though it overperformed, and again, I'm trying never to sugarcoat this, I'm never trying to lie to you, so I'm here to tell you the truth. It is the only film in the top 10, other than Hellboy, that dropped in terms of Friday to Saturday grosses from Friday to Saturday. It is the only film that just collapsed, almost showing that this thing is a little bit front-loaded. And that's what I'm hoping that people do not get turned off by the negative reviews. I'm hoping that people will still go to see the film, that people won't, hear all the BS that's being talked about, which I'm not calling the fans BS. I mean, if you're a fan of the book and you are genuinely pissed about this film, I get it, but you also kind of have to understand that it's 2019, that a lot of the stuff that you want from the film or like from the book, like you're not gonna get in 2019. I mean, they're gonna have to make changes. They're gonna have to, delete some things. They're gonna have to, change some things up because just some stuff is just not gonna play well in 2019. Just to be completely honest with you guys. Um, but again, I know for a lot of you, you've been fans since the original Wattpad fan fiction. So I understand that you're very close to this material. You're very protective of this material. You're very what's another word, like you're very attached to this material. So I know that like as because I have been a fan of books who have been adapted into films, and like I want everything into a film. But guess what? These films are not gonna be 5-6 hour things. So it's like they're gonna have to make changes. They're gonna have to make deletions. In a hour and 46-minute movie, they're gonna have to compact some things. They're gonna have to cut some things out for time, and because it's 2019 and there are certain elements to the book that are just not going to translate well to our current modern times, which feels kind of weird to say because I think the book came out, or like the Wattpad fan fiction came out like in 2014. I want to say like 2014, 2013, around that area. So like that feels kind of weird to say, but also I'm very happy to say that. I'm also very happy, that we've come so far in 6 years, that we have, progressed to this area, to where I can say, that, oh, like in 2019, like you're not going to get X, Y, and Z from the book. Because even Anna Todd, because like I am seeing like a lot of people complain, especially about the ending. And I know like a lot of you are going to probably downvote this and, scream at me like, oh, this is all supposed to be about Aviron Pictures. Will they keep it? And, like you're going off on tangents here. But so, yeah, I get it. But like talking about the ending for a second, even Anna Todd kind of admitted like, yeah, I was wrong to do that. I was wrong to, do that in the book. And that, yeah, like some elements from the ending were never going to make it into the movie or never going to make it into an adaptation, no matter what. And I completely understand that. But like I said in another video, there is a happy medium between, like the book and what we got. I mean, there is like a happy, like middle ground that they could have found that I wish they would have found. Because like the more that I do see it, the more that I start to, side with, the more screaming hardcore fans who are kind of really angry about this film, and especially about the ending. Because again, I feel like they could have found, this perfect middle ground, and they went too far in the opposite direction. But I still really love the movie. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say screw the movie, screw these people, because guess what? I want a sequel. We all want a sequel, which is why I'm here to tell you, if you want a sequel, you have to go see the movie. And what I would love to see, because here's a little, story for you guys. When the film The Greatest Showman came out, and it opened, in the U.S., it only did about $9 million opening weekend, and believe me, I was depressed, because I love the movie from the jump. I love the music from the jump. I just love the whole movie. I love musicals, by the way, and so yeah, I got really depressed, but Fox played it right to where they were able to grow the movie and make money, more and more money weekend to weekend to weekend, to where the film finally exploded. I would love to see that happen with After. I would love to see, Aviron Pictures did us dirty, with this film. But, maybe they can make it up to us. I mean, maybe there is something that they can do. Maybe there's something that the more popular members of the cast can do. Because I know that there are some names, especially in terms of social media, in the cast, like Pia Mia. I know that she's one. There are a couple of other people in there. Like Selma Blair, Peter Gallagher, Jennifer Beals, like all these other people who could, kind of, try to do something similar for like The Greatest Showman, like what people did with like The Greatest Showman. Especially, look, if you can get influencers involved in this, then we could see the movie explode. Because I do want to see it make more and more money, so we can more and more guarantee that the film will be, that a sequel will be made by the end of this. That by June, that they are announcing, oh, by the way, guess what, Afternator? Surprise, we've made enough money, we're doing a sequel, and by the way, we start shooting in a couple of weeks, and it'll be out sometime in 2020. That's what I'm hoping happens. But yeah, again, you guys just got to keep turning out for it. You got to keep, showing your support. But yeah, this was like a long 16-minute video for me to, went completely off topic. So, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and end this video right here. And, jump down to the comment section below, yell at me by, just like how much this video has very little to do with, will Aviron Pictures keep After? Will the After movie sequels continue with Aviron Pictures? Yeah, just go ahead and just curse me out in the comments below. But yeah, thank you as always so much for your support. Like I said in another video, if we hit 200 subscribers, or like once we hit over 200 subscribers, this is going to happen no matter what. I mean, even if I don't hit over 200 subscribers, but if I do, there might be something coming around the corner that you guys are going to enjoy, that you guys have been asking me to do and want me to do. So yeah, if we hit 200 subscribers, that might start that earlier. So yeah, remember to leave a like, leave a comment. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you later. Afternators. Take care, y'all.